Yo, what's up, YouTubers? This your boy Phantom MXT. Year's almost out. It's almost 2016, so I thought I'd make a New Year's resolution video. So for New Year's, what I think a lot of big companies should do is make their electronics marketed a whole lot differently. The main difference is price wise. So here's my suggestion. Made a list of things that I think you guys should switch up a little bit. For instance, the biggest thing I want you guys to change is price. The price of, how much certain electronics cost is kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't care if it's a flagship device. It sense alone tells you that, certain things just don't cost that much. And for that price, I want to see certain features, you know what I'm saying? So flagship Sony phone, I don't want to pay more than $200 for it, right? And for a brand new phone, like in general, a smartphone, I don't really want to pay more than $80 for an entry level phone either. So flagship phone is like $200 to me. That's an appropriate price, and then an entry level phone should be $80. I think that's decent. I wouldn't mind paying those prices. So for that amount of money, I'd want to see certain features available. If I paid $80 for a phone, I wouldn't expect less than 13 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel camera. Full HD screen, no smaller than a 4.5 inch display size. Standard features. And these are just like features like suggested in addition to what current features they have. So it's not like all the specs of the phone. Things like internal storage, I want it to be 64 gigs. The SD card, like, I don't know why you guys don't allow for a bigger SD card. Some people just want to have room to put stuff on their phone, So 500 gigs, expandable, but 64 gig internal. Miracast is nice because who doesn't want a wireless display, not have to plug in cables all the time? OTA updates, because it doesn't matter. Like, some phones, even flagship phones, certain flagship phones don't allow for updates. So unlocked phone would be nice. 4G LTE, that'll be nice too. Fingerprint reader, Hour Blaster, NFC, also flash on both cameras, front and back. Because flash, I don't care how good the camera is, I still want flash. It's just, I don't have to use the camera to use the flash. It's a no-brainer. NFC is also a no-brainer. Wireless charge, nano coating. I like the nano coating. Cause my phone has it. And come on now, I mean, my phone's a Moto G. Like, really? You guys don't want to put a nano coating on certain phones? Just throw it in there for $80, man. Water resistant design, give or take. Digitizer pen, give or take. But a desktop mode would be nice too, because if I use Miracast to cast my phone display, kind of like a Chromecast, but like an actual display of what the phone is. Like if I do, if you guys like work with that, make a little something happen, like a desktop mode on your Android device. That'll be really cool. And I can hook up my mouse and keyboard with the Bluetooth, and my external speakers with the Bluetooth, and my printer and stuff like that, and that would work really nice. So for $80 to $200, and then for $200, I would like to see like a 40 megapixel camera, because like Nokia had something like that, the Lumia phones had something like that, and then like an 8 megapixel front facing, because front facing cameras suck, and I don't think that they have to suck. I really don't. A 4K display is nice, because the Sony phone actually has the first 4K phone screen. OLED 6-inch screen. I'm not sure why I put that in there, but for $200, it's not that I don't know why I put that in there. Also a DAC, just to make the sound quality higher, because the audio chip on a phone or a laptop sucks. Yeah, that's basically it. Those are my suggestions for like the 2016 market. Like, how I think you guys should sell phones and stuff. Because I mean, you spend $800 on a phone, and then like next 2 years, the thing is worth nothing because it doesn't get updates anymore. Part 2, laptops. So my suggestion for laptops would again be lower the price. if I were to buy a new laptop, and keep in mind I'm like consumer, so this isn't like professional or anything. This is like a specific market. Um, I'm a consumer, right? I'm a student, right? So if I'm gonna buy a new laptop, I wouldn't pay less than $200 for a new laptop because otherwise I pretty much already know that it's gonna be junk. Um, and I wouldn't pay any more than $200 for an entry level laptop, anyways. I wouldn't pay any more than $800 for a flagship laptop. Of course, it depends on what it does, but for the most part, it doesn't cost a company a whole lot, an arm and a leg to get the materials and to actually put the thing together. So I don't think you guys should sell it for an arm and a leg. It's just not worth it. I wouldn't go any smaller than 11 inches because there's just no need for it. Anything smaller than that, you just need to use like a smart device because the operating systems for laptops and stuff are just designed to be used on like 11 inches or larger, like Windows and Mac and stuff. I would for $200. I'm not sure about 11. Like for $200, 11 to 15 inches. Also, the 15 inches, I wouldn't go any bigger than 15 inches because any bigger, I just think you just need to plug in an external display or just use it wirelessly, wireless external display. There's just no need for a laptop that's bigger than 15 inches. I mean, you can put more garbage in there, like more processing power and stuff, but it's still not worth it because it's not portable. It's less of a laptop. All the ergonomic stuff, basic ergonomic stuff. Common sense. Anyways, for $200, I would expect nothing less than full HD screen, Core i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gig hard drive, and that's PCIe, right? So it's like the faster one. Iris Pro graphics, and that's the thing, one thing that people tend to overlook, especially with the Core M, the graphics on those things just suck. I mean, they're terrible. You could barely play Minecraft, and that's not a graphically intensive game. You can do a lot of, basic things, like you can play Angry Birds, that's not really graphically intensive. And you can watch YouTube, but that's not graphically intensive. I mean, even watching 4K video, that's nothing, even for my computer. The battery life in my list is it's really weird because it's based off of the TDP as opposed to how they estimate the battery life of a laptop. They usually estimate it based on how long it can last while the computer's on or in standby. You'll get you'll get numbers that you probably won't ever get as you own if you own the laptop. So this is an estimate of the next generation technology, what it offers, and giving an estimate of how long the battery lasts. I don't know, it's weird. The TDP is the total draw power. So if your computer is just totally maxed out, like everything running, graphics card, screen brightness up, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, everything running all at the same time, and you got really intensive stuff going on, that is going to be your battery life. 8 hours with the most power hungry components inside, and 21 hours with the least power hungry internal parts inside, such as a GTX 970M SLI versus Intel Iris Pro graphics. Both of those maxed out are gonna have different power, different TDP ratings, right? So they're gonna be different. So the battery life thing is just really complicated, but I still think that you guys should do battery life estimates based on TDP instead of how long it could last, with everything set to low. In an 11-inch laptop, I don't want it to be any heavier than 3.5 pounds. I wouldn't go any bigger than 15 inches. I wouldn't go any lower than 4K OLED screen or maybe IPS, because then, in a laptop, it depends more because depending on the application. I wouldn't go any less than a Core i7, maybe an HQ, 128 gig RAM, 4 terabyte hard drive, but at least the ability to hold, more PCIe's that I can just, open the casting on the bottom of the laptop and just put in more hard drives if I wanted to. That would be so awesome. For $800, I need to see some graphics, some GTX MLE cards, low voltage cards in SLI or something like that. You know, I've seen a lot of new computers, like the new Vio, without Sony, achieve some seriously great battery life. So I know it's possible. So I want to see it for like 2016, 2017 and stuff. I don't want to see too much of what we've already been seeing. In standard features, for $200, I want to see all of this stuff. So that includes USB 3, mini display port, HDMI, SD card slot, so that even if I got like a 128 gig hard drive, I could, get a 512 gigabyte micro SD card and pop it in there, and I'd be good to go. A MagSafe jack, kind of like the magnetic jack on a Surface Pro or a MacBook, so they're just better. Mic jack that's separate, that's also important because it goes hand in hand with the DAC. So I have more flexibility for manipulating sound and audio and that sort of thing. It's pretty annoying to see, a lot of Ultrabooks and stuff, with just a single headphone jack and not have, two separate ports. That's not like an old thing. It's a functional thing. So fingerprint reader, maybe in the power button or something, kind of like how the Sony phones are. Built-in DAC, NFC. Sony had some laptops like this one here with NFC. I just thought that was so cool. Please add NFC into every laptop if you can make them, and even for $200. Wireless charge, whether you're charging the laptop itself or you have something like on an NFC charging pad on the palm rest or something. Backlit key and trackpad, nano coating like I covered in the last one, in the last part, and a yoga hinge to enable the tablet / laptop thing that we're doing. So, and then the pen and the digitizer, and the touchscreen and everything just goes all in there. Instant on. Again, the new Vio without Sony, that thing has a crazy fast instant on. It saves time and it saves battery. Just throw it in there for $200, please. 13 by 5 megapixel cameras with flash. Because again, like I said, common sense. I need flash, And the cameras don't have to suck. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and WiDi. Because I really like WiDi. It's like having an HDMI cable, only wirelessly. And Chromecast and Miracast can't do that. It has other Intel features like security and multitaskability that Miracast just doesn't have. So you gotta throw that in there, especially for $200. It comes with the Wi-Fi card, so why not? Touchscreen, digitizer, pen, and a sheet battery. Because again, the new Vios, I think they're actually better than the new Surface Books. I'm not really sure. That's contemplative. But anyway, that kind of concludes this here. And the sheet battery too, please, the sheet battery. I mean, what's better than being able to double your battery life? Nothing does. But anyway, part 3 coming up next. So yeah, but digitizer, pen, and a touchscreen. Those are two things that, again, the new Vio without Sony has. I think it's called the Vio Z and the Vio Z Canvas, but I'm not really referring to the Canvas because that is a tablet first computer. I'm more shooting for the laptop design. Okay, part 3 respectively. In the handheld consumer market for handheld camera bodies, I don't think there should be a market for point and shoots particularly. I can't really find too many reasons why. I think this, it's just all for money, because if anything, your main camera should be in your phone. If somebody wants a camera, they should buy a phone actually, because there's no cheaper way to go. That you can't get a point and shoot that's cheaper than a phone, and then if you're gonna pay that kind of money for a camera, you're probably gonna get the same quality or possibly better quality in a phone anyway. So especially 13 by 5 megapixels, cameras and phones have a lot in common, and now people are not shooting straight for the phones and really totally forgetting about the cameras. Now that's why I think the starting price for a camera body should be $800 because you're gonna, the only reason why you're buying a camera separate to a phone is for that quality. So, you're probably gonna end up with a DSLR or a mirrorless just separate to your phone just for the quality. Otherwise, anything in your smartphone is gonna be pretty exceptional. $800 to $3,000 is appropriate in my opinion, and that's what I think all the major companies who make cameras for consumers should be looking at. And for that price, $800, I haven't found any standard features that I really would like to suggest, because phones have just done so much now. For cameras, it just varies depending on what you're gonna get and how much you're gonna pay for it, because it's basically gonna be something that a cell phone doesn't have or can't do. So you're looking at a DSLR versus a camcorder. It's not versus a camcorder, it's to camcorder, because there's different cameras within there. There's body styles. There's a lot of different body styles. So I can't really pick one. It depends on the person and how much they're willing to pay for the features they're gonna get, which are obviously gonna be features that cell phones don't have or can't do. So $800 should get you at least 12 megapixels. It should get you some kind of lens mount. So again, with the body style, there's super zooms. So super zooms are cameras that have fixed lenses, and you don't change the lens. But as far as lenses that are interchangeable, it's just up to you. But you should be able to get that for that ability for $800. I don't think you should pay more than $800. But it just depends on the camera and the specific use. So you have a wide range of cameras that can do a lot of things that cell phones can't do. So they have cameras that will take full HD for a particular purpose, and then cameras such as high speed, and then you have cameras that will take 8K, but will only take it in 24, 25, or 30 frames a second. And 8K is like twice as much as 4K, and so. And then you have weather sealed or rugged. So rugged and weather sealed are actually two different things. Some Canon cameras are rugged, and you can take them into the outback and they're quite rugged, and other cameras are just weather sealed. So and then some are waterproof, and so those are my suggestions. Just lower the price basically throughout all these main devices, which I believe the majority of people who are smart enough will actually look at. Just lower the prices. You can still, my main point is, you can still make a lot of money, because even selling them at these prices, you can still make double the amount of money as how much you pay for the materials to construct them. It's a win-win for everybody. You get 200% profit. You get a product, and we don't spend an arm and a leg for that product. So if anybody thinks that I'm wrong, I haven't had the most sufficient proof, allegations, I guess, but for the sake of timing, I just decided to go ahead with my suggestions. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, peace out, and all the best with the new year.